in lead up to EWC is I do need to watch some of those RSL matches and some of the Stars Agora matches as well, because those are games that we did not cast. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the South Green Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Here we go. Do you have a favorite EWC and do you cast? We will be casting EWC. We casted it last year. We'll be casting it this year as well. We'll be casting. I think I want to reserve who my favorite player is, just because, again, as I mentioned, like I still need to, like I really need to watch some of the Stars Agora games, and of course RSL as well, to get a better idea of how certain people are playing and how certain people are looking in certain matchups. Yeah, so that's what I will say about that. It's also really hard to say anything about favorite players, just because even though right now I think I would still favor Clem coming into EWC, it's also important to bear in mind that both Clem and Reynor and Trigger as well, all three of them are, again, they're in Korea right now, they're all practicing right now. And the other thing to bear in mind when it comes to their play, Serral and Hero as well, is that a lot of them are hiding builds. I didn't get to mention it, but, and I think a big reason why, I don't know if you noticed, right? I think right now there's like a big wave of hype around Classic, and Classic is doing really well. He's doing really well, don't get me wrong. But the reason why, like, I actually rate Hero higher than Classic, and why I think a lot of people are like putting Hero down right now, I don't know if you noticed, Hero, he isn't playing today. Hero, he has been very inactive as of late. He hasn't been, he used to play in everything. He used to play in every single weekly tournament, but over the past month, he has been much more inactive. And he's said this before, it's because he is hiding builds, like straight up. Like Hero, he is practicing, he's hiding builds. That's why he's not in this week's WardiTV Monday. That's why he's actually been missing a lot of these weekly tournaments where he usually is, because he has been intentionally like hiding a lot of his play. And like preserving builds and just trying to like keep his like information on him like hidden. Like Serral is the same way. Like Serral, he's always the same, just because he doesn't play in a lot of these online tournaments. But that's like another thing like to bear in mind when it comes to preparation for EWC. Same with Reynor. Like right now, Reynor, he did nothing but all in against Shameless. I say nothing but all in. The games progressed and went longer. I expect to see a lot of all ins here in the series as well, but that doesn't mean that that's how he's going to play coming into EWC. It still is valuable information just because it shows what at least his all-ins are looking like, but I'm sure he has like other things planned for an event like that, specifically because it's the World Championship. That's like another thing to bear in mind. But of course, before I forget, predictions. Get your gambler going. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will play in the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our round of 16. Let's go. As for now, we have our standard openers, Hatch, Gas, Pull into a third base out of Reynor. Likewise, Classic going for a Gate Expand into Cybercore into Stargate. So far, everything's looking normal. So far, everything's looking standard. Meanwhile, 2 drones going to be going down. Does pick up 2 workers. Oracle making its way across the map. And we're looking for a certain tech here from the side of Reynor. We're expecting a Roach Warren when we get up towards the 4 to 5 minute mark. But we'll keep an eye on him. Another thing to bear in mind is that like the style of certain players and what that means as well. For example, Classic, he isn't really one to be cheeky. He's, oh god, as Link said, do get us around. Yeah, they do get us around here. Nice pick up here on the Adept. The Oracle does race back home, but the Adept does go down. Nice pick up. But I think that Classic has less to hide. Because we were, if you recall, we were talking about Classic's playstyle and how it very often is very defensive and very often macro based. Like he has less to hide because he's not hiding builds, he's not hiding any kind of cheeky strategies. That's just not how Classic plays. So Classic has been excelling a lot, he's been playing it a lot, because Classic, he doesn't have to hide anything, I don't think. Like it could benefit him, and hey, speaking of hiding things, Twilight Council's been thrown down. We are looking for the Forge. But it's same with Beyond, for example. Beyond, he's also been playing in everything, and I said this during the, I think it was Pegasus Cup last week, the event that Beyond won. I think Beyond, he beat Clem recently as well, and I was talking about how, like, Beyond, he's playing in everything. Beyond also has nothing to hide, because Beyond, he is a very mechanical player. Like, he's very much so, like, about unit control, army control, micro, like, he's very mechanical based. So, like, he's really just refining his play, refining his skill. He's not, like, hiding anything. He doesn't, he has to rely on that a little bit less than other players. So, like, there's a lot to, like, factor in when it comes to, like, player preparation, what to get from a lot of these games, what to get from a lot of the lead up into a lot of these tournaments. Another. We have a standard build. Okay, let's go. No Roach Warren here. Unlike the previous games, we're going for an Evo Chamber. What does this mean? This means Ling Hydra. Ling Hydra out of Reynor, working towards his lair, skipping Roaches, skipping Banelings. Meanwhile, Classic, likewise, opening up Blink and going into a Templar Archives, working towards Storm. Oh boy. So we do have earlier Templar Archives, earlier Storm here from Classic. Classic is building up towards the mid game, building up towards a longer and later game, to be honest. Meanwhile, from the side of Reynor, even though, yes, he is going for plus on melee, even though he's droning, we'll keep an eye on his drone counts because he might cut workers a little bit sooner. Nah, he's droning. He's droning up to 80. So he's droning up to 80. Classic is pushing towards the 4th base, and we'll see if he can break the 4th. See if he can break him. Oh. Getting on top of the Overlord. Does take down the Overlord, it does come on top of the hatchery. Stage trap goes off, but it does get baited. Ling's trying to engage. Can he save the expansion? Oh, can he save it? Oh, no transfuse, and he cannot. Oh, the brutal stage traps. He did spend, what, 2-3 transfuses. Does get 1 Oracle for his troubles at least. But Classic got what he wanted. He got what he wanted. And there's that recall, making use of the stasis Lings to wall up. Does make it back home. So a strong push there from Classic, a strong moment for him. He does race back. Now, he did lose one of the Oracles, so he has that much less to defend his 4th base. We do see Reynor is going for the counterattack, and he wants that 4th, and he should get it. Gonna cost him a lot here, but he does force a cancel. Nice pick up here by Reynor. Reynor rushing into the golds. Oh, we are embracing a longer game. Okay, we're done with the all-ins. I spoke earlier how Reynor, he was going for a lot of timing attacks and a lot of all-ins against Classic previously when they faced off in KSL. But here, Reynor, he is going for a more macro approach. He's taking up into Hive, and he's taking a 5th base. So I do love that Reynor, again, he's taking just a very different approach here against Classic this time. He's learned from their previous series. It's like all-ins are not going to work against him. Behind this, Hydras are amassing. And as we mentioned before, once you give him room, Classic, he'll throw down the Stargate, he'll throw down the Fleet Beacon, he'll get into Skytoss. Like, we spoke about this in the lead up to this series. He does this in PvZ and in PvT. Give him some room. Bam. We're going to lock in for half an hour. Let's go. And we'll see how Reynor can compare. Now, we're not there yet, right? There is a window in time here where Reynor can try to break and abuse Classic before he can get to that late game. Before he can get into his own ideal. Banelings are on the way. Meanwhile, Classic getting caught out in the open. Yeah, he's getting caught out. He should not be here. We get some nice storms on the Hydras, but the Banelings are almost done. And the Banelings are coming in. No Baneling speed? Never mind. Despite that, the High Templar is still exposed, and a really nice catch here from Reynor does force the morph in. And Classic is in danger. He's in danger. Again, he got caught out in the open. He should not have been here. And that might just be game. Before he can get into Skytoss, that might just be game. As Baneling speed just now begins, so it was not intentional that it wasn't done. Banelings, they're waddling in. They're trying to... Oof. Yeah, they're trying to waddle in. Takes down 1, 2, 3 High Templar. Pushes into the expansion, and GG gets called. Again, Classic got caught out in the open, and Reynor takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Yeah, Classic a little bit too cavalier there, getting caught out in between the bases. With that, he lost, what was it, 5 High Templar? 6 High Templar went down as well. Even though Reynor didn't have Baneling speed, it didn't matter. He had a better engage in the center, and he snowballed into a win before the Skytoss, before the late game, before Classic could look to max out and make use of that Fleet Beacon. GG. GG, well played. I don't think Reynor intended to end the game then and there. I think he was just being active, and he's like, oh, I guess I can just catch you. I said, okay, sure. Why not? Why not? So we get a nice catch there from Reynor, and with that he does punish Classic, and now we're getting into game number 2. And here we're going to need to see Classic tighten things up here when it comes to his army movement, when it comes to his army control, especially if we are kind of getting and embracing into a longer game. Here we're going to be loading into Incorporeal. Incorporeal is a much larger map in the map pool. Because of that, I was going to say this does kind of lean towards longer games, kind of. Incorporeal is a bit of an interesting one, just because the maps are more spread out. Straight up, the maps, they're a lot more spread out. Bases. The bases are a lot more spread out, so it can be a little bit more difficult to rotate to get in position and to defend your 4th and your 5th base specifically. So things can get a little bit more awkward there, depending on the kind of setup. If we end up in a longer game, we'll see. Now that Reynor has a lead, this time he might just go for an all-in. It's possible. I wouldn't put it past him. But let's go. Let's get into game number 2. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Basilisk, leading the series 1-0, and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is Reynor. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss representing Virtus Pro. Down in the series, can he fight back and force the ace match? It is Classic. And again, as you mentioned, in a shorter series like this, in a best of 3, one small mistake, one small misstep, that can cost you the series. That can straight up just like that. Classic is on match points, right? Reynor needs one more win to claim the series. So we'll see if Reynor can get that. We'll see if we can force a mistake out of Classic or just catch him with his pants down. The pants were down, baby. Ah, true. The pants were down. Classic does move out. Likewise, we have our hatch gas pool set up here out of Reynor. So far, everything's looking normal. Now, as a reminder, last game, what did we have? We did have an earlier Eva chamber into +1 melee, and Reynor joined up to 80. He joined up to 80 workers. He took a 5th base. I would say that Classic had a really strong start when it came to killing the 4th, but maybe that gave him too much confidence, right? Maybe from there, he was a little bit too excited. He got caught out in the open. Despite the stronger start from Classic, and despite it looking like we would be embracing a longer game, man, again, gotta look after your army, man. So you have to look after it. After that experience, Classic, he may just be even more defensive this time. We'll see. What's important as well is that Classic, he is willing to go into Glaive Adepts. So if he does see an opportunity, if he wants to mix up his build, mix up this series, then we could see a Stargate opener into Twilight Council into earlier Glaives. So we'll keep an eye on the 3rd base timing, and we'll keep an eye on the Twilight Council timing as well. Until then, we're just droning, we're just saturating. We have our first Adepts soon to be across the map. There we go, they're moving out. Once again, when it comes to the early Adept aggression here, we could pick off a couple of workers, but if these Adepts go down too soon, that is going to endanger the 3rd. So Classic has to be very, very careful here with these Adepts. As he pokes in. Second Adept is on the way. Just checking saturation. Remember, 2 Adepts can one-shot workers. And here comes that second Adept. Here he is going to be threatening that shade. Does shade in, does commit, gets one, gets two. Yeah, 2 drone kills. It's an okay start here, but the depths are going to be focused down. Yeah, he will lose both of them, and from here, Reynor, he can counterattack. Yeah, takes down both the depths. Ideally, Classic did one a little bit more. Lings, they're moving out to deny the third, and the third is about to be thrown down. Oh boy, and can Reynor force a cancel? Oracle does hit the natural. Queen drone position. Oracle gets 1, gets 2. 2 more drones. Lings, they hit the third base, and it looks like they will force that cancel. Yeah, the Oracle's too late. And that's a brutal start here for Classic. As we mentioned at the start here of the game when we saw the Adepts. If he were to lose both Adepts, that means the third base is going to go down. So a better start for Reynor. Better start for him. Cancels the third, delays the expansion. That is an earlier Twilight Council. So if you remember, we also spoke about how Glaive Adepts can be a possibility here from Classic, depending on the Twilight Council timing. This is an early council. An early council, earlier gateways as well, no forge. This does look like Glaive Adepts. Now there is a build, as the Oracles dip between the bases. 1 Oracle goes down. Yeah, nice big off here from Reynor. Now there is a build where you can go into early blink, but there it is. Forge on the way. Leads towards blink instead. Show us what you got. Plus on melee here. Oh, he's going. Let's go. Is going into glaives. Now this forge will hide glaives. If the overlord goes in, which it won't go into the main base, but if he sees the forge, this will help hide the build itself. We are going to glaive depths. Now what is scary about this setup here is that Reynor has no Roachhorn and he has no Baneliness. Right now he's playing just like the last game. He's getting into plus on melee, which means Lings into Hydras will soon be a lair on the way into Hydra Tech. Adepts, they force to recall, they get a handful of worker kills. But Reynor, he's cutting corners. He's cutting corners. He is just now scouting the main. But as we mentioned, as he scouts the main base, Adepts are going to be kept hidden, and it's going to be hard to get a read on what's happening here. As here come the Glaive Adepts. Now we do have a Baneliness as a response. I think the Adepts may have barely gotten seen. Yeah, we have Lings on the way. We have Lings on the way. It's going to be a tough hold here for Reynor, especially as the Lings are across the map. Yeah, Reynor is moving out. Adepts soon going to be moving in. Banelings will not be ready for this. And Glaives are just now done in time. Lings are racing back home. And depending on the position here, either Classic can excel or Reynor can shut this down. Can he surround? Oh, ooh, barely not. We get a pseudo surround here. Adepts, they do trade well for themselves, but Lings, they get on top of the Adepts. They have plus on melee, and they will clean this up. Yeah, minimal economic damage. Only 3 drones. It's way too soon. That's going to be a 4th or 5th drone going down. More Adepts are on the way. I mean, this is still acceptable losses for Reynor. Oh, the Banelings! Nice connections. Ooh, last second split. Last second split there, but these connections nonetheless. And Lings overwhelmed. Yeah, they overwhelmed the army. Thankfully, Reynor, he wasn't joining too hard. Right? Thankfully, he wasn't joining. He had 20 Zerglings in production when the first wave was moving out across the map. And Reynor, he defends. Whew, that could have been so much worse. Could have been worse. He does defend. Now, what's important here is that Classic, because of the earlier Forge and the earlier +1, I mean, now +1 is finishing, Storm is finishing, Blink is still a ways away, but he will have Storm to defend back at home. So the game will continue. As the dust settles, who do we favor in this position? I do favor Reynor. Reynor, he has a little more freedom. He has a little more freedom to drone up to 80. And he is. Like, a good call here. He's droning up past 80. The reason why he can drone up in such a way is because there's no Blink. Without Blink, Classic can't move out. He's stuck at home. Like, Classic is stuck at home. He has no map presence, so now is the time to drone up heavily and to tech up as well. So Reynor is up to 86, getting up to 90. Jesus. Droning up to 90 at this point. And again, we can throw down some tech as well and get ready for lurkers. Or get ready for the hive. Obviously, you don't want to be too greedy, but Blink is still on the way. And yeah, Reynor is in a better position here. Classic is stuck at home. And we spoke about it at the beginning of the game as well, how the bases are more spread out here. I would say that this linear third base is more secure, but this fourth base, again, is on the low ground. We do have a concave coming into it. It's going to be difficult to defend this location. But for the most part, Classic, he has to turtle. Like, he just has to turtle up. And it's a different scenario than the last game. Like, the last game, if you remember, he was teching and getting to Skytoss after getting ahead, after killing the 4th base. Like, if he was more defensive, he would have been perfectly fine to do so. Here, he doesn't have that momentum. Reynor, he's already maxed. He's already maxed out. Now, my concern here, there's one way for Classic to recover in this game. And that is for no. Gets High Templar. Nice pick up. Gets 1. Gets 2. 2 High Templar go down. Nicely done. Now I was going to say if Reynor overextends, because Reynor isn't teching. Reynor, I just spoke about how Reynor, now he can drone, now he can tech up to Hive. He isn't. There's no infestation bit, there's no lurker den, he's maxed out on Ling Bane. Reynor, he's here to end the game. Which, I mean, he has the advantage, he has the lead. But if he fails to do critical damage here, then Classic can recover in this game. Fleet Beams on the way, Stargate's on the way. If Classic can survive this without losing too much, then he can recover. Here we go. Like Reynor, he's forcing himself to be more committed than he needs to be. But I mean, it could still work well. He would just straight up kill. And here we go. Yeah, it's go time here. Reynor, he's gonna send it. Stage Trap's gonna be going off. We get some okay storms, nothing major. Oh no! High Templar getting caught out. 3 High Templar go down. Massive pickups. And with that, there's limited storms. Yeah, the storms is not enough. Banelings, they crash in, and Reynor, he will break the expansion. Again, the Banelings, they were the MVPs. They took down 4 High Templar. If it wasn't for that, maybe Classic would have held, but with that, yeah, it's going to be GG. With that, Reynor, he breaks the 4th base. And even though he wasn't taking, he did what he needed to. He broke the expansion. From here, Reynor, he can remax. And send it again. From here, he does get on top of the cannons. Now rotating over towards the 3rd base. We have a storm coming in. As there's 1 High Templar. And from here, Reynor, he can just back off, remax, and do it again. We're waiting for the Banelings. There we go. Banelings on the way. Classic now working towards carriers, and I think this would be okay for Classic if he had the 4th. Like, if he still had the 4th base, if he still had saturation there, then sure, he can still just turtle and defend and weather the storm and get into Skytoss. But without the 4th, it's going to be difficult here for Classic. As Reynor is pushing in. Does head into the bases. And again, Reynor, he made sure, he was able to ensure, I should say, that Classic, he never got into the late game. He never got into Skytoss. Both Game 1 and Game 2, Reynor able to break Classic ahead of time. And GG gets called. Reynor, he will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Oh. GG, well played. A nice adaptation here out of Reynor. Now, comparing the KSL series to this series, Reynor, he was a lot more aggressive early on, is what I will say. And he was caught out by Glavedeps a couple times as well in that series. This time, we saw, I mean, I still think that Classic had a stronger start in Game 1. Like, Game 1 was Classic's game to lose. Unfortunately, it was Classic that made some mistakes and Classic that overstepped in that last series, or in Game 1, I should say. In Game 2, Reynor, thankfully, he was already massing Lings. It didn't look like he was aware of the Glaive Adepts, just because the army missed the Adepts as well. He was like outside of the bases, but he happened to already making me mass Lings. He wasn't droning, he wasn't being too greedy, so he had an army to defend. The Adepts, they killed 5 drones, they killed 5 workers. That was not good enough. I want to say like 7 in total with the Oracle, but with that, Classic, he lost momentum, he fell behind. As we did emphasize at the time, after the failed Glaive Adept aggression, it meant that he was stuck at home. Remember, because Blink was so late, he was just stuck at home, and Reynor, he droned up to, I assumed it was going to drone up to 80, he droned up to 90. Not like Reynor, he droned up even harder. Then he kind of forced himself, like, quote-unquote all in, or he committed with Lair Tech. Never teched into Hive, never teched into Lurkers, which is risky. It is risky to do because, again, if he fails to break the 4th, then Classic, he bounces back. But he didn't, right? He didn't fail to. Broke the 4th base. GG. GG, well played. With that, Reynor does claim the series, and we're going to be following Reynor into the next round. Exclamation mark, be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves.